Hello, Reformers, and welcome to a special feature of Crusader, Deus Vult, and we are going to be showcasing this mod today, and of course if you are ever interested in a particular mod that I actually do showcase, then of course you can check out the description and there's a link to go and download it. Now, also you may see on the screen there's an annotation in the top left for a playlist of my other special features that I've done regarding Warband mods, and there's a whole array of them, over 50 videos in actual fact, so you can take a look there if you so desire, and without further ado, let us start a new game. Now, of course, the special feature format, if you've been on my channel, is very familiar to you, where you are, of course, greeted by a mini-series or a one-off episode where I showcase many of the features of the mod, and then you can decide whether you want to download it. So, what are we going to do here? Okay, so I think Veteran Warrior is probably a good start. A Street Urchin gives us more agility, and I'm never sure what to go for here. I really must check to see what kind of stats you actually gain from these things. I know University Student actually gives you some pretty good intelligence, and maybe, I'm actually unsure, does it give you leadership as well? Yes, I'm not too sure, but we'll go for that, and Personal Revenge, of course, gives us an additional strength point, which is always good. So, let us see here, what are we going to do? Okay, so, wow, we have some pretty good stats in actual fact. That is nice. That is very nice. I'm actually kind of surprised that we're, well, starting with such good stats right now, right off the bat. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to go for some pretty even Power Strike Iron Flesh. Unfortunately, now that means I only have 3 skill points remaining, but that's just how it goes, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, I think Pathfinding 3 will be fine, because next level we'll probably go for some Intelligence, so we'll get 12, and then we'll have 2 skill points and a little bit more Pathfinding, and maybe we'll also go for another point in Power Strike or something like that. Now, because, of course, in a special feature, I usually do not put too much effort into naming myself. I am just going to name myself, well, some random name I just drew out of something. I don't know, Reformist, it's kind of some weird name. Well, yes, whatever the case, otherwise we are going to be, what am I going to start with? What did I choose again? University Student, so I have no idea what I'm actually going to be starting with in terms of weapon. But we do have, the Improved Faces submod in this, so that's pretty good. At least, oh, that seems like a pretty decent face. We're going to make him a little bit older, and his hair color must be a little bit grayer, I think, a little bit light. And there we go, why not? Okay, so here we go. If you couldn't guess it already, it's somewhat historical, and you can, of course, actually read the description of the video to see a little brief overview of the features and everything. So, let's have a look here. Where are we going to go? I actually have no idea. So I think I'm just going to pick at random, basically. I think we'll go to Tripoli. Why not? You took passage with a trading longship carrying gear falcons from the furthest reaches of the north to be bartered for linen and wool. It sailed early in the season, but the master reckoned that the risks of drifting ice and later winter storms could be justified by arriving ahead of the sea raiders. And as you can see, there's a southeasterly wind blowing in from... It just seemed like something a weather person would say, actually, but yes, fantastic. So let's have a look. Okay, we have a crossbow and we have a polearm. Okay, that's not too bad, but this guy has... Oh, we have a sword as well. That's actually not bad. Ah, no, we missed, really? Oh, that's terrible. Okay, well, at least I have a sword. I suppose that's all I can... Ooh, we've got some... Ooh, new sort of animations. Do you see that? And death animations. Oh, do you see that? Yes, some new death animations, but yeah, I actually do want to try out more of these swings so that you can actually see the combat animations. Okay, so we're going to find the merchant's brother, of course. Yes, what else? What else are we going to do? Now, do bear in mind that this is still in development as far as I'm aware, and the Merchant of Sargoth is not particularly accurate, but do bear in mind that this might actually be. So, yes, I've got to say that they did a pretty good job on the map, and it is very large indeed. I mean, there's a lot of room for expansion over to this. Oh my, yes, a lot of room to go over for some expansions and things like that, but yeah, I've heard a lot about this mod, and the one thing I've heard about it is that many of the units that you fight are relatively easy to begin with, but then you start gaining incredible units yourself, and then you become overpowered, which is what mainly drew it to, yes, drew me to it in the first place, yes, of course. So, let's have a look here. Okay, so deserters. Squire of Tripoli. Probably do not want to get involved in that, thank you very much. So, we're just going to be heading onward and trying to get some recruits if we can. Yes, there we go, Tripoli recruits, that's perfectly fine. Ooh, wow, that was actually very easy. Usually it takes me a lot longer to get the required amount of men for the initial quest, so that's pretty good. We do need to be careful of those deserters, though. They seem to have horses, so I'm a little bit worried about that. I think we actually have a horse, too. Yes, we do. A sway-backed saddle horse. We also have a warhammer, which actually seems to deal piercing damage on swing. Can you believe that? Piercing damage on swing? Well, that's actually very, very good. Okay, well, I think we're actually going to... So that's the thing. Am I going to unequip this and put the shield on? Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know, because we're going to be on a horse, and I'm not sure whether we'll need the shield, really. Not right now, anyway. So let's head into the tavern and take a look. Ooh, Crusading Squire. Ah, well, I would love to be able to recruit them, but unfortunately I can't right now. Okay, so I'm going to have to head upstairs by the looks of things. Is that where the... Yes, that's where he is. A drunken heretic. Oh no, please don't attack me, thank you very much. Oh, apparently he is. Some sort of animal, clearly. Oh no, there's no shooting. No shooting in the bar, apparently. Take that. I have a polearm. Yes, there we go. Better him than me, of course. Okay, so we actually did survive, even though I was not allowed to shoot in the bar, which was actually quite amusing, considering you're usually able to, as far as I'm aware. Can I actually try shooting now? Yeah, that actually does work. Okay, that's kind of weird, but yeah, I suppose it's just for that particular encounter. So let's talk to the merchant and say we'll hunt for bandits. Now, I would like to try out some of those animations, like I said beforehand. Ooh, look at that. Oh, yes. Well, that's actually pretty cool. I like that. I like that. I like the new animations. They seem a little bit more fluid than normal, and they don't seem as mechanical, if you know what I mean. I mean, I think you probably do, but yes, there we go. Okay, so we do have a book as well. Okay, that's fantastic. So let's actually go and take an action, select a book to read. So as you can see, the camp menu doesn't have that much to begin with. So if you're expecting a lot of customization, it's not, I don't think it's based on the Florist mod, as far as I'm aware, because as we see, we don't have Meet the Guildmaster or anything like that, so you do have to walk around the streets to get to the Guildmaster himself, which is, well, I'd say a little bit irritating at times, but it does, of course, give you a little bit more immersion if you're after that, of course. So let's see. Where are they keeping the prisoners? Of course. Yes, now let's have a look. Are the animations any different on the horse? I don't... Oh, no, the overhead. The overhead is different. And I can see that they've actually added... It seems that they've added some sort of flourish to the blade. Is that just me? I'm actually unsure whether you can see that on the video, but still. It seems to have sort of a trail of steel as you actually slash the sword. So that's pretty cool, I gotta say. There's a little bit of a visual... Yeah, it's a visual effect. I'm pretty sure you can see that. Well, maybe not. Yeah. Maybe if you can, then that's cool, but otherwise, no. Now, let's see if we can actually take these guys out. These guys are obviously going to be very difficult, because they are the hardest units in the game. And they are very, very difficult, as you can plainly see. Yes. They're just blocking all the time. Maybe I can shoot. No, I can't shoot him. Okay, well, what about a thrust? Wow. These guys have to be the most, shall we say, stubborn bandits that I have ever fought. There we are, there's a little bit of damage. They appear to be very, very good at defending themselves, though, I've got to say. Now, our Tripoli recruits do have some two-handed axes. Wow, they must be used to chopping wood and various other things. Maybe they're just used to handling wood, you know? I mean, there must be some hard wood around here. And, let's have a look. I'll spare your life, but in exchange I want information. Of course we want information, so... we do get some Saranid leather boots. Of course, some of the... Yes, some of the particular items have not changed either, but we do get a rusty falchion, so that's actually pretty good. And we get some tattered nomad armor as well, and we also get a nice helm. Okay, well that seems... yeah, I guess it seems okay, doesn't it? But the problem with this is that the reach on the falchion is very bad. Ooh, this is good, though. A Nordic sword. I can't believe I didn't see that before. I'm probably going to use the shield instead of the warhammer. I think that would probably be a better idea. Oh, and there's the kidnapper's hideout right next to us, of course. Okay, so is there anything else here that we can actually take a look at? No, it seems not. Okay, so the one thing that I know about this is that when you're fighting bandits, and I should have probably rested before heading in here. Okay, well, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. We've done worse. I have actually headed into battle with much lower HP beforehand, so we shouldn't have any problems, but they are all recruits. So I'm kind of a little bit worried about this now. Well, thankfully I have a shield now, because if I didn't have a shield, then I think we would be in trouble. So let's see if I'm actually able to... Come on! Yes! Come on now, yes! Okay, this guy really knows how to fight, doesn't he? Yeah, there we go. Desert Nomad, take that. Okay, so yes, as you can see, there are some very, very extravagant combat animations there. I actually like the change. I like the change quite a bit. It does throw you off a little bit, though. Obviously, as you can tell. I mean, it's thrown me off rather considerably, but still, it's actually rather nice to have that little addition. And now we just have to deal with the last remaining... Oh, look at this. Ah, yes, the overhead is rather amusing, I have to say. Yep, there we go. Okay, well, apparently the Tripoli recruits definitely know how to use their two-handed axes. And, well, it seems very, very easy indeed. So, yes, after this, I think we're probably going to be heading into the town. Ooh, there's that guy over there. Yes, we're going to be heading into the town, and we're probably going to try and either speak to the guildmaster, try and get a task, or we are just going to take a look at the marketplace and see what kinds of equipment that we can actually acquire, because, again, the thing about this mod is that sometimes you can find bandits with very overpowered items, and you yourself can actually construct a very, very powerful army very quickly, which was quite, shall we say, alluring to me. So, here we go. So, yes, we have a scimitar here. That's very, very nice. And we can get some better boots. And that's basically it, but I can obviously loot everything else. There we go. I actually don't have much space, and we actually don't have any food. Yeah, we do have some food, but we need to get a little bit more, in my opinion. So let's go over to Tripoli and have a look at the marketplace. No, I don't want to head into the arena, thank you very much. So, yes, as you can see here, yeah, you can just get a rusty military cleaver for 32 cutting damage. And it has pretty good stats, I gotta say, so maybe that would be an idea. I'm actually unsure about the scimitar, to be honest. I mean, it's not really something I particularly like, but, well, it's fine. It's fine for now. So I'm just gonna be selling basically everything I can, and if you want to, you can even sell the book if you want to get a little bit of an extra cash injection. And there we go. Okay, that seems fine. I was thinking maybe a new shield, but no, I think we can probably... Really? You only have that much? Are you kidding me? Okay, well, that's absolutely fine. That is fine. Okay, so yes, apparently all of the merchants are not particularly wealthy, but I suppose I could have expected that. There we go. Okay, so now we can head into... Oh, apparently the Crusading Squire is having a fun time there. Okay, so I could hire one of these guys, but I don't think I will be doing that. So, yeah, we're just going to head up and talk to... Yes, talk to the merchant of Tripoli. Yes. Okay, yes, there's the Wandering Bard. There we go. Okay, so there's an additional 200. Am I interested in making some more? Well, that's the thing. I actually don't have... Oh. I selected the wrong option, of course. Yes. But I actually don't have a lot of HP, so this is going to be amusing. Let's hope that the scimitar is actually going to do a good job for me. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Okay, yep, come on, take him out. Yes, look at that. Oh, I actually really do like the animations. I know I keep going on about that, but they are very, very nice in my opinion. I know that there are other custom animations, and I wasn't a huge fan of those, so whenever I see something new like this, that is, well, relatively usable, because I would say that the other custom animations, I'm not particularly a huge fan of them. I can respect them, of course, but... in my opinion, they just weren't that usable in comparison to these, so I think it's good. I think it's good. I think they did a good job here. So, yes. Come on, really? Every one of these guys against this one... yes, okay. Well, we actually did survive, amazingly enough. And let's see. Yes, I'm glad to see that you're alive too. Okay, well, there we go. That's relatively nice, isn't it? Okay, so otherwise, I think what we're going to be doing is we're going to be walking around here. I'm going to see if I can find a couple of, shall we say, regular bandits, not deserters if I can help it. And then we're going to see if we can level up a couple of these guys too. So I'm just going to get 2 footmen and 1 archer just to see what they actually become. Of course, we are going to see more of the advanced units later on as well. I'm going to do a cutaway and I'll try and progress a little bit off screen there. Alright, so in the first of our cutaways, I took a look around and I gotta say, there are a huge amount of bandits. So if you're definitely wanting to grind up or at least kill a huge amount of bandits, then that is definitely, yeah, that is definitely possible here. Now, of course, the other thing that I must mention is a little bit of a weird design decision. The looters previously, I had no idea that they were actually looters because they were the same color as an actual faction in the game. So I thought, oh, they're just a patrol or villagers or whatever from that particular faction. So yeah, you'll see. You'll see after we get out of here if I can find another bandit party. But as you also see, I'm also still relatively injured. But it is 11 versus 11 technically. Well, technically it's 12 because I am the 12th man, as it were. So yes, we're going to see if our Tripoli recruits can deal enough damage. Now, of course, we do have a huntsman here, who I hope is actually going to be relatively good. I have a bad feeling about this, however. I do have a bad feeling about this. Is it just... Wait a minute. Is it just me? Or is it the fact that these recruits right here remind me of Nords? Is that just me? Because that huntsman could technically be a Nord huntsman. Is that true? Have I just seen something here? Well, yes, maybe that is indeed the case. Wouldn't it be amusing? Well, let's just see what the more advanced levels of the units are like before we actually make any judgments. But so far, it seems they do share quite a lot of similarities. But of course, again, the mod is in progress as far as I'm aware. So yes, but yeah, I think as we've seen, there are many of the advanced units. They are quite different. So I'm kind of happy about that. And yeah, there we go. That was a very, very easy fight. But I wasn't expecting any different. But as you can see, I mean, just look at how much loot there is. Just huge amounts of loot. But, I mean, it's only 11 bandits. So I would suppose that they might be the same. Okay. Well, I did see a huge amount of bandits in this area. So I'm going to head down. But as you can see, look at this color right here. And then look at that color. Yeah, it is exactly the same. And I'm not entirely sure why they decided to go for a similar, if not exactly the same green. So, yeah, that's kind of a bit weird. But let's have a look here. Okay, so I'm just going to go for footman. And it might be the same. I'm actually unsure. But we're going to see more of the advanced troop trees as time goes on. I don't think I can see the troop trees here, no. But there are the varying factions. And we're going to take a small look at the map before I cut away. And then we'll see. I'm actually going to try and recruit a couple of units from each particular faction just so that we can see what the differences are. And then I will cut back. Alright, so we have arrived at one of the northerly towns, and I have, well, constructed an army out of basically every unit I can. Now, I have purchased a shield that is a reinforced Muslim heater shield. Gotta say, that's really very good. And we also have a cracked crossbow and some bolts. I couldn't find a better crossbow at this town at least, but it's gonna do the job if I can actually shoot anyone with it, obviously. So now what we're going to do is we're going to purchase a little bit of armor. We're just going to take a look at some of the prices here as well, just so you can get an idea of what things cost, actually. And we're actually going to get this, because that's some rusty Muslim iron lamella armor. That's pretty good. I mean, it's better than this, and it costs less, because it's rusty, of course. So otherwise, I think we're probably going to go for these mail mittens. We'll go for some thick iron greaves, and we're going to get a reinforced English Great Helmet. Not entirely sure why there's an English Great Helmet here, but we're going to do it anyway. Because, well, I'm English, so why not? Let's do it. And, yes, we may want to get a new horse, too. A Muslim Iron Step Charger. Okay. Well, that's... Okay, well, why not? Okay. I guess we'll do that. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Because that wasn't interesting before. Oh, I think it was. Okay, so we are going to take a look at these. Yeah, look at this. Some unique weapons. Balanced Despair, which I'm starting to have, and Balanced Frostfang, which is... Well, they're basically the same thing, but they have a slightly different look, as you can see. Balanced Frostfang actually looks a little bit cooler, but considering Despair has a nicer name, I'm going to do that. Thank you very much. That is 12,000. Of course, I did give myself some money. Some money. Yes, not actually that much, but still. The point is, here we go. Now, this is every single unit, apart from, I think, a couple of knights. But, yeah. So, basically, the Tripoli units actually do advance into some good units. As you can see here, we do have Knight of Tripoli, Knight... Hospitaller, yeah, whatever the case may be. And we're going to be taking a look and seeing. So they have 59 HP, 7 in Power Strike, 7 in Iron Flesh, 170 in weapon proficiencies. Now their attributes are absolutely awful, but let's just see if there is a difference between these and the Knights of Tripoli. There is a difference. A very small difference, but there is a slight difference in of course, their gear as well. As you can see, the Knight of Tripoli... And they have different weapons as well. So, yeah, that's good to know. At least they don't actually just go into standard Nord archetypes, because I was a little bit worried about that, I have to say. And we do have axemen here, which have huge two-handed axes, which I have to say is very cool to see. And then we have some Byzantine units here. Of course, these guys may actually be... Yep, they have a little bit more HP, less weapon proficiency, so they are more defensive than the Tripoli units, which we, of course, already know, because it seems as though the Tripoli recruits are very, very aggressive. And then we have some Varangian guards here, some Afghan javelin men, okay, and we have some Seljuk Turco-Poles, yes, exactly, let's take a look at them, just take a look and see. They have very bad proficiencies, but they're kind of, well, they're horse archers, aren't they? Yes, they're horse archers, so I suppose they don't really need that much HP. And then we have some Teutonic Knights as well. They are they seem to be very good in terms of their horse, at least. Their horse seems to be the most well-armored. Well, I don't know, they could all be well-armored, but for the most part, as you can see as I scroll through here, there is a good unit variety in most of the factions. As you can see, we even have a camel rider. I mean, how can you have a game that is set in this kind of area without having a camel rider? Seriously. But yes, otherwise, we have Mamluks here, of course, Sultan Mamluks. I mean, I really like the Saranid Mamluks from the native game, and it's really nice to see them making a slight return here as well. And then, of course, we have some Assassins and, yes, things like that. So, yeah, we have a pretty decent army, and I was actually going to fight a couple of things. So, I think we're going to try and find a bigger bandit party, and then we are going to attempt a siege on one of the towns nearby. Alright, so we have found a big bandit party. They are only 29. Actually, that's pretty decent, I gotta say. That's pretty decent a number. We have some Muslim fanatics here, and they are apparently wanting to drink from our skull, which is, well, yeah, that's kind of mean, isn't it? Yeah, that's very mean. I am not afraid of you, I will fight. Yes, as you can see, we have some jihad fanatics. Yes, 66 troops against 29. So, let us do this. Of course, I am still a little bit injured as well. We do have a nice horse, though, and we are just going to be allowing our knights just to charge in because, well, I don't really care whether they die, because we always have replacements. Yes, we can always get replacements. So, yes, otherwise, I'm just going to try out my weapon a little bit here. I'd actually like to try it two-handed because it's going to do more damage that way, I hope, at least. Yeah, look at that. That was some nice damage right there. Oh, yes. Exactly what we like to see. And we are slaughtering them very, very easily indeed. Because, I mean, let's face it, we completely outgear them in every single respect. and, well, we have a little bit more knowledge about what we're doing right here, but I suppose it doesn't really matter so much because, ooh, yes, look at that. Despair is very much insetting upon them. Oh, yes. Can they feel the despair? Can they feel it? I think they can. Yes, it is deeply embedded in somewhere where the sun doesn't shine. Ah, yes. Yes, of course. That will be on the other side of the planet when... yeah, I was going to make a space joke, but that didn't really work, did it? No. I was going to say, when the sun's on the other side and the Earth has spun around and... yeah, okay, I'll just let myself out. Okay, so as you can probably see from the text just rapidly disappearing there, I did interact with these village farmers because you know what we gotta do, we have to besiege the town. The king is also here, so we are going to hopefully take him prisoner and maybe execute him, who knows. But we are going to be preparing our ladders. As you can see, I have 11 engineering skill because I took many, many hours over leveling it up. Oh yes. This is many weeks after I made the first part of this special feature, and I hope you appreciate the amount of work I put into it. Of course, I'm completely lying right there, but we are going to now complete our ladders in 2 hours, and... oh, apparently there's only 50 more days of food here instead of 100. Okay, so that's a little bit of a nice change in case you want to go for a much longer siege. So, let us lead our soldiers. Of course, I have exactly the same army as I had previously, and we are now going to be fighting against some rather difficult units, I would say. Oh, maybe not. Okay, they don't actually seem to be that difficult. Okay, I'm actually going to decide to use this as a two-handed weapon, because I feel like it, and because it's going to deal a lot more damage. Yes. Come on, take him out, take him out. Yes. Ooh, it's actually rather nice, isn't it? Look at that, they actually have new blood effects too. Ah, there we go. That's pretty nice. There we go. That's what we like to see, isn't it? I mean, really, it is a very bloody time indeed. And we definitely don't want the blood looking anything different other than actual blood. It would be rather nice. Ooh, oh my, I'm getting shot in the face right there. Yes. Well, that's not too good, is it? Okay. Oh, no. Ah, how dare you. I'm going to take him out. Come on. Yes, there we go. Okay, all you crossbowmen, you are all fiends. Fiends, I tell you. Okay, let's take that guy out. Thank you very much. Okay, are all of my people actually charging, or are they just standing there? No, it seems like they are... ah. Yeah, this is also the other reason why I wanted to test things out. And that is because there is no diplomacy. There's no diplomacy submod in this, so that could, in fact, write off many of you from actually downloading this. But, well, if you are not like me, and if you actually are wanting to survive, then of course you wouldn't be an absolute fool and run in there with a two-handed against crossbowmen. So there is that. So that's a little bit, yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, I have to say. But as you can see, the particular garrisons, they don't actually have that many units in them, which is really very cool. At least, maybe that is just how it is to begin with, but if it stays like that throughout the entirety of the game, which I highly doubt, but if it does, then that is a nice cool change as well. So, if you have enjoyed this special feature so far, then all I can say is download the mod, try it out for yourself, and see how it goes. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.